The night before her trip, Claire moved around the house with a kind of restless focus. She'd been talking about this weekend getaway with her friends for weeks. A chance to unwind, to breathe, to reset. I told her I understood. And I did. But there was something layered beneath her words, something fragile and probing, like she was watching for my reaction. "I think I need a break," she murmured, leaning over the kitchen counter, eyes searching mine. "Just a little space. A few days to clear my head." I kept my expression steady, even as a faint unease stirred inside me. "A break could be good," I said. "Go enjoy yourself. Take whatever time you need." Her shoulders relaxed at that, and she went back to packing. Later, I simply observed, nothing accusatory, nothing tense. Just noticing. The way her phone stayed close to her hand. The way conversations with her friends stretched longer than usual. I trusted her. But trust doesn't mean you stop paying attention. When the house settled into the stillness of 2 a.m., I sat alone with my thoughts. I checked flight schedules, weighing a decision she didn't know I was considering. She assumed I'd stay behind while she enjoyed her freedom. Assumed I'd sit quietly with my thoughts, feeling whatever she imagined I'd feel. She was wrong. By morning, as she kissed me goodbye at the door, I kept my plans to myself. Only after she'd gone did I send a short message, one she didn't expect. "Heading to Minneapolis. See you when you're back." I could picture the small crease between her brows as she read it. She'd planned on distance, on me being stationary while she stepped away. But instead, I moved too, without drama, without bitterness, without making a scene. I simply chose my own direction. While her plane ascended, mine was already in the air. The quiet hours of travel became a space to think about us, about the stretches of our marriage that had begun to feel strained. Sometimes, stepping away is something both people need, whether they realize it or not. I landed in Minneapolis, settled into my hotel, and let the rhythm of a new place pull me forward. As I wandered the city, I felt a calm I hadn't realized I'd been missing. Claire had been drifting, smiles that felt brief, conversations that felt distracted, moments of closeness that slipped too quickly. But from a distance, everything becomes clearer. Back home, she was adjusting to a quiet she thought I'd be sitting in. Instead, she found herself faced with my absence. Not loud, not vindictive, just intentional. A reminder that my world didn't revolve around waiting. On the second day, I sent her a simple photo. Minneapolis at sunset, glowing over the skyline. No message attached. Just a quiet signal that I was living my life, too. I imagined her looking at it. Surprised, maybe unsettled, maybe even missing me. The understated shift in our dynamic was more powerful than any confrontation could have been. Later, walking along the Mississippi River, I found myself thinking about marriage, the way comfort can blur into complacency, the way love needs room to breathe but also needs to be noticed. That night, I called her. Not out of anger. Not to ask for explanations. Just a calm check-in. "Hey," she said softly, her voice different, uncertain, a little vulnerable. "Hey," I answered. "How's the trip?" "It's fine," she said after a quiet pause. "I kind of miss you." I let a small smile form, unseen on the other end of the line. "I miss you too. But sometimes we need a little distance to remember what truly matters." The quiet on the line lingered, but it wasn't heavy anymore. No frustration, no bitterness, just a calm understanding. And in that stillness, I could sense the real change beginning. By the third day, the shift became unmistakable. Claire's messages, once short and clipped, started lengthening. She asked about my day, the city, small details she usually brushed past. I didn't over-explain or over-engage. I simply responded, letting her interest and care rebuild naturally. When I finally returned home, I didn't burst in with accusations or demand explanations about the break or the trip. I walked in slowly, keys in hand, letting my calm presence speak for me. Claire was standing in the kitchen. The moment our eyes met, I saw everything, relief, admiration, and a quiet apology all at once. She set her things down and approached me. "You came back earlier than I expected," she said, trying to hide the emotion in her voice. "I did," I answered with an easy smile. Some things are better talked through in person. Her shoulders softened as she let out a long breath. I thought I needed space. I didn't realize how much I'd miss you. I know, I said gently. Sometimes stepping back shows us what really matters. And it reminds us that presence and trust aren't things we should take lightly. We sat together on the couch, and she leaned into me, resting her head against my shoulder. The atmosphere felt lighter, the unspoken strain easing on its own. The small choices I made, the trip, the quiet absence, the single photo, had done more than I'd expected. They reminded her our relationship wasn't something to test without thought, and that love is more than being nearby or saying the right things. It's respect, recognition, and steady presence. Later that night, as we settled into bed, she whispered, I don't ever want another break like that. I squeezed her hand. Neither do I. But the point wasn't control. It was understanding what we are to each other, even when distance challenges it. She intertwined her fingers with mine, her warmth carrying a silent promise. That break had given her clarity, but even more, it strengthened a foundation we had started to overlook. In the end, it wasn't shouting, drama, or conflict that brought us back into balance. It was calm, intention, and a quiet reminder of what truly counts. One deliberate step back, a little space, and everything became clearer. Claire came back, not just in body, but in heart. And that night, our marriage felt more solid than it had in a long time.